Good evening, everyone. We appreciate you being with us. Nice to have a good crowd with us tonight. And we have some people we want to recognize. We're excited about doing that tonight as well and look forward to it. At the beginning of our meeting, this is a regular meeting for March. We have a moment of silence, and we'll invite you to join us, please, for a moment of silence before we start. Thank you. By Pledge of Allegiance, Ms. Holliday, you're going to have some students come up and introduce themselves to us. Let them stand right in the middle up here so that they can be on camera. All right.
You want to introduce yourself, or you want me to introduce you? I'm Josh Holliday, I'm the principal at Keowee Elementary School. I brought 4 students with me tonight. They're going to be sharing some of their STEAM activities here in a minute, but they're going to say the pledge. And we have Reed Calhoun, Lila Sykes, Chelsea Burkhart, and Eli Addis.
Y'all join.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Anna. And Ms. Holliday, if you want to go ahead and
We'll show you a short video real quick, just highlighting some of our STEAM activities that we do at school. This year we've been focusing on family nights. We want our families to come in. We used to do skits, plays, performances. We kind of changed it around. We wanted our families to get something out of their family nights, not just to see a performance, but we wanted our families to learn something too. So we've had, so far we had a health fair the other night. We had a literacy fair planned at the stove. Got it, so we had to reschedule that for May. In April we have a STEAM night is planned, and we're working with the industry. We're working with a lot of businesses in the county to promote STEAM as a whole. So we're really into the science and technology, the engineering, the art, and we want to make sure that everything that we're doing is focusing on that with our science. So we'll play the video first, and then we'll have our students share some of the things that they're doing with you right now.
Well, I'm going to create a Mona Lisa, a funny Mona Lisa that actually paints. It's kind of like a goofball version of the Mona Lisa. That I'm going to record a voice that says, "Do you want to go swimming?" And I actually had to download it into my hard drive, then get it from my hard drive into the Scratch project in order for it to work. So like really big shrinks, and then he moves, and then it moves, and then it switches to the other thing. Sticks. Well, not the sturdiest. Some of my favorite projects have been with STEAM. Jet Toy was one of my favorite STEAM projects, and we had to problem solve what we would do with our car. STEAM, I feel like, has definitely influenced the careers around us. So much more interesting for me. I mean, I can't even think of my favorite project for STEAM. There were things that we do. Congratulations to Alex Burkhardt for qualifying in the USA Swimming State competition this week.
Well, there's a socket in my pocket. And I want it off.
As you see in the video, we highlighted a few things that are going on at the school. Our jet toy team is competing Friday. We won first place in the county, and along, I guess Tomasi said, was second place. So we're going to our region where I think it's Anderson, Greenville, Pickens. So we'll be competing against other schools then. Our science fair, our Region 1 science fair winners, we had 10 of our students win at the school level. They're all girls. We had 7 to 10 either win, place in that science fair there. So from what I understand from Ms. Garland, we could have had more place there. So we were really impressed with them doing that. I guess we'll turn it over to the students and let them talk. Y'all don't want to hear me talk. Let's let them talk and show you what they're doing. Who wants to go first? Eli, come on. You just want to stand up there and show them what you want. All right, tell us what you're doing.
So I built a project, made a project by using coding.
What is your project?
It's like our own. So my own. There's a rocket in my. There's I don't know.
So with your coding, you had to put instructions in, right?
And a lot of blocks to build the movement of my characters.
So every little movement had to have some kind of instruction, right? If y'all have ever seen these coding programs, I have a tough time doing it. My mindset is just not there. These guys are coming up in the technology age. They can do it quick. I've seen them program and code. You want to show them what you got? You don't want to play, or?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I'll do it.
All right, you do it.
There's a socket in my pocket.
Show them too, son there.
And I want it off. Did you ever have the feeling there's a roaster on the toaster?
You made it do all that?
And a dingo in your window? The baseball bat plays with my baseball bat.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Who's next?
So my project is also on computer technology. It's about a Mona Lisa who does some weird and suspicious things. She goes swimming. She goes swimming in different places, and I was trying to make it look like she was gonna paint. In the video, I was trying to, but then I decided that actually I wanted to go with swimming because of how much it is a part of my life.
Back open. Then you press the space bar.
Oh my goodness gracious, Missy Franklin. Missy Franklin, what is it like to be an Olympic swimmer?
Back open.
Hello?
And then you press the, and then if you go, I had to put all these instructions in, and it says to press the A key.
It's probably one of the most amazing things that happens to anyone, especially.
And this is all from CS First, the computer software program. And then when you're all done, you press this.
My name's Ray Calhoun, and I'll be doing the ozone plot. And I created my name, and I created different coatings and different colors to change the color.
The different colors, when you draw the lines on the paper, it tells the robot to do certain things. So you can program it to do whatever the colors are. So just watch.
Nice.
You need a volunteer. Mr. Hammond would be a good volunteer.
If you do this to me, I'm gonna tell the story of the first time we met. What you did the first time we met when you were, how old was she, grade 2? 3?
Yeah. Explain to them what you're doing here.
I'm dropping the cup.
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
This needs a place to first cup. This needs a place the cup on the right. And then that needs the cup on the left. And that needs to place the cup on the left.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow the pattern. Okay.
This is very basic coding. Very
You
basic.
you got the right man.
Yes.
Like this. Just place it on the top. Okay, hold on. 2, and it says another one on the top, and another one on the right. How do you place it on the top and to the right? Duh. All right, I'm sorry. So you want me to fix it now? Okay. So I got a cup on top, cup on top, cup on top, and one short.
Yes.
Because I left one on top. Yeah, well, at least I knew I was one short.
At least that.
That's right. Now that's right?
That's right.
Now I'm gonna tell everybody the story about you in the ball field that night.
As you can see, we incorporate a lot of things with the technology. You saw storytelling, so there's a writing component to take code. They not only code the computers to do certain things, but they also write stories to go along with their projects. Christy Moore's back here. I didn't tell her I was going to embarrass her, but Christy is GT teacher and technology teacher. She kind of spearheads the STEAM things that are going on in our building. She's phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to come visit her classroom, please do. She has 3D printers. She has all these, we call them toys, gadgets, toys, but we are actually learning using them. So we appreciate the district support in all that we do. And again, I invite you to come out and see the things that we're doing with the technology. And come out April 12th. We've got local industries, volunteers. We'll have all kinds of projects. Each class or each grade level, they have their own projects for folks to work on that night. So please come out and see us. But I appreciate y'all giving us.
Can I get them up front to get a picture of them? Thank you. You got it. You just say that.
You gotta give me a little smile. All right, thank you. I'll put that on Twitter shortly. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Just feels
Good
bad
job.
about making me look bad.
Well, at least she gave you an easy one.
Did. You would think. I will say the hard one.
Okay. Next, then we'll, Dr. Thornton will do celebrating successes. And
Yes, and I'm going to recognize Mr. Kreuzberger. He is here. He's a proud principal of the two consecutive time defending state wrestling champions in 3rd and 4 years, and he's got some of his wrestlers here and some coaches he's going to recognize. And then I think we're going to try to get a photo op with the school board, so we'd like to put that on our website, and I'm sure Mr. Hanby will tweet that out. So Mr. Kreuzberger, if you want to come up and recognize.
Sure, I'm very excited about this, and just the hard work that our wrestling program does and the leadership with Coach Brewer that this has created an outstanding program, not only in our county, but our entire state. This year they were actually ranked the #1 team in South Carolina in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5A. And so very proud of them. I'm going to have Coach Brewer come on up and he can introduce the guys that are here and some of the coaches that we have as well.
Thank you guys for all that you do for us. We certainly couldn't be as successful without you guys, without our school administration, our athletic director, and all of our teachers and students at our school. First, I'm going to introduce our 2 great managers. First, we have Abby Lee. She is a sophomore that's been doing it. Come on up here. That's been doing it for, this is her 1st year, so she is now part of the Colt. So we will keep her the next couple years. I don't think she realizes what she's gotten into, but we never let you go. So, and then next we have Lauren Crowley, who is a senior who has been doing it with us for 4 years, and she also did it while she was a middle schooler for our middle school wrestling team. I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to talk about our kids in grade order, so hopefully I don't miss anybody. First, we have Garrett Rollletter. He is a freshman on our team. We have Guy Mobley, who is also a freshman on our team. And we have Ryan Dobbs, who is a freshman on our team. I don't think anyone else snuck in behind us. So those are our freshman class. They're very accomplished, and they have a lot of expectations that we want to go as we move forward. Sophomore class, I think we only have one here, and that is Matthew Williams. And then our junior class, we've got 3 people that are here. We've got Damian White, we have Ryan Rollletter, and then we have Garrett Dixon. And we also have Ethan Powell. No, forget about you. All right, and then lastly, we have 2 seniors. Sorry, we have 4 juniors, but we have 2 seniors. We got Jesse Taylor and Gavin James. And last but certainly not least, we have 2 of our assistant coaches here. We have Mike Powell and we have Al Billings that are both here. So just to talk about, our team a little bit. Over the last 4 years, our record is 111 and 13. So we've won almost 100 more than we've lost. So we're very excited about that, like Mr. Kreuzberger alluded to. We beat the 4A state champions in a dual match this year. Throughout our whole season, there were only 2 teams that were better than us in tournaments or dual matches or anything like that. One was Camden County, Georgia, who is a nationally ranked team who is very, very good. And then another, we didn't have our full lineup, so but in a tournament in early December. So we felt really good about our team. To win, 111 matches over the last 4 years, and over the last 2 years, we're actually 52-1. So, we've had some success, and it comes down to our coaches, and it comes down to our kids, and it's not something that happens from November to March. It's something that happens in April. It's something that happens in July, and it's the dedication that they have to improve. And we've got a core philosophy in our program that every day you get better, you get worse. And these kids and our coaches really believe in that, and they take it every day to make sure that they do get better. This year individually, we had 10 all-state wrestlers. We had 6 in the finals. Is that right? We had 6 in the finals. We had 7 in the finals, 6 state champs. Is that right? So we had 6 state champions. We had several that won for their second or third time, and then we also had Gavin, who was the 3A Wrestler of the Year, voted by the South Carolina Wrestling Coaches Association. So we're proud of our kids. We're proud of our coaches. We're proud of our administration. We're thankful that we have a great community that supports us, and a great, just a great backing from everybody in our area. Our goal is to be the best sports program in our county, and that doesn't really mean wins and losses. We want to create the best kids and the best people, so that in 5 years and 10 years, they're great husbands, they're great wives, they're great parents, and that's our main focus. So while it's nice to win, our true successes won't be measured for the next 5 or 10 years. So we're excited about our kids. Thank you guys again for recognizing us. It's good to come up here. 3 out of the last 4 is pretty lofty goals and expectations, but we feel like that we're capable of doing it every year. So it just depends on us, really. So again, thank you guys so much for your support of us.
Well, if you guys don't mind. We would like to get a picture with the school board, so if you guys, some of you taller guys might could stand on the little platform back there in the back so we can go too deep there.
We'll go in the back.
You want us to go? Yeah, you would. You'd be tall.
Okay, someone's going to have to do that. There's a corner I can get you in there, I think.
Okay.
All right. I think I got it.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Nabnett, I do want to comment that Gavin looks so calm and studious tonight with his glasses on. But as I walked through their building, they have a promotional poster they did before the beginning of the year, and Gavin didn't look so calm and studious in that promotional poster. It's kind of scary. But
we're going to do our own administration like they did with Mr. Henry and Gavin. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You better pick somebody else. I've done my time. Can we vote on that? We'll be crawling under the table. Sorry, Gavin.
That is just awesome. We're proud of you. Good job. We look forward to seeing you here next year, same time.
Yeah, that's the hope and goal.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have approval of tonight's agenda for the March 19 regular board meeting. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agenda for the regular board meeting of March 19th, 2018.
Second.
Motion is second. Anybody have any comments on? Hearing none, all in favor? It's unanimous.
Some of them might have homework. I don't know if we want.
Okay, yeah. He was saying if any of you need to go do homework, you know, it's all right.
We're happy to have you stay, but I know some of you
This
students
is going to
may
be a
have some
fairly
work to
short
do.
meeting, so you're welcome to stay.
It's quality right there now.
I know you
back
want
now,
to do
It's
homework.
quality.
Yeah.
It's quality right there.
That's a good thing.
Thank you guys again.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Coach
Thank
Brewer.
you.
Shan. My fingers. I got two. I mean, I got them too.
Gavin said he's deciding this week where he's going to school. He's got the choices.
I'm sure it's help.
All right, next on our agenda, we'll move on is public comment. Do we have anybody signed up? Nobody signed up for public comment. All right, then move on. We'll just get an approval for Exhibit 1, the minutes from February 12th work session and February 19 regular board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move the February 12th, 2018 work session meeting minutes and the February 19th, 2018 regular board meeting minutes be approved as submitted.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Anybody see anything that needs addressing? Hearing none, all in favor, it's unanimous. Next, action items, Exhibit 2, Policy CC-E, Organizational Chart, first reading. Dr. Thorland, want to make any comment?
I do. I spoke with Ms. McCormick earlier today, and I do want to just clarify, there are no new positions, and I think there was some concern, some employees may have been concerned about these director positions representing raises for individuals, and that is not the case. As I explained last week, I did submit to you kind of flip-flopping finance and HR, just as far as the level. So there would be a change, but it would be a change that would be, you know, a net zero as far as change in salary. So this does not reflect salary changes for individuals that would mean increases to the district. This would be revenue neutral, it's just a couple of changes in title. It's not an overall increase in any kind of administrative salary for the school district. So I did just want to clarify that. And as I said last week, before we, if you do approve this before we get to April, there are likely to be a couple of changes just to the wording. And there's actually one position that I need to get on here. That's an existing position that I was just unsure of where it was gonna go, and I need to get it on here. But the position Dr. Lucas occupies currently in HR is not even listed on here. So we'll get that in before the April board meeting. But just wanted to clarify that. It's really just kind of a few minor changes. It doesn't really represent much of a departure from what we have now.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve on first reading?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve on first reading policy CC-E, the organizational chart as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. Now, is there any questions for Dr. Thorland? Nobody? All right, then all in favor would be unanimous. And then policy JICDA Code of Conduct. This also on first reading. Ms. Tammy, do you want to just highlight the changes that this brings about?
Yes, sir. It's a 20-page document, but there are minimal changes. The most consistent one you see throughout there is changing the categories. We had in the past, we've used category 1, 2, and 3 to get ourselves in line with what the state uses and that we would change that to levels 1, 2, and 3, as far as, you know, level 1 being the least disruptive, level 2, and then level 3 being the most disruptive. That's one change that you'll see throughout a number of times because those terms were used. Also, a change that's in there several times is where we had somehow left Code Academy in as the title of our name for our alternative program, and we made that in there multiple times to change that to Oconee Academy to get that accurate. And then beginning on page 14, there's just like 1 or 2 changes per page. Level 2 offense, viewing inappropriate content on a school or personal device, and threat to another student. Those are in red on page 14. And then on page 16, which falls under level 3, about the 6th bullet down, making serious threats to students, staff members, or other persons authorized to supervise students. The word student was added in there to cover us on that in case there's an issue. And then on page 17, the theft amount change between a level 2 and a level 3. Below $100 is a level 2, above is a level 3. And then where you see down below that just a little bit more, added the term destruction or defacing or theft of personal or school district property, just to make sure we're sort of catching everything that could happen in there. Still falls, in my mind, under vandalism, but been a little bit more specific. In the last paragraph down there, or the next to last paragraph, the last section, you see once the investigation has been completed, the principal or his or her designee will meet with the student and the guardian to discuss. A lot of times an assistant principal handles these things for them, and then the principal becomes the line of appeal for it. And the top of page 18, that change is pretty much consistent with what we have in the others. We're talking about things, if you're at a school-sponsored event, you're still under the jurisdiction of this behavior code because you're still representing the school. And if you're at a football game or a chorus concert.
In town or out of town. Correct.
That's why, and we send our resource officers out of town as well in case there are issues at times. So those are the changes. There's a couple of changes, or just a change in the revision at the end. Nothing major that we could think of that needed to be changed. These, again, remember I told you we're done with Ms. Hughes meeting with a representative from each school, typically the AP, who does discipline and that, but we had elementary and middle, and we do continue to work on the matrix that we talked about so that we are consistent throughout the district in our consequences that we serve out for these kids make these mistakes or have these issues.
Okay. Do we have a motion for first reading to approve?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve policy JICDA, Code of Conduct, on first reading.
Second.
We have a second, and now any comments, questions? Everybody okay with everything? All right, all in favor? That too is unanimous. Thank you.
No, you're both going for second.
All right.
You did fine.
The only other item is the executive session for personnel items, employment recommendations, and changes. We have a motion to go into executive sessions for those reasons.
Mr. Chairman, make a recommendation that we go to executive session for personnel items, employment recommendations, and changes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Unanimous. Told y'all it'd be short. Thank you. Appreciate you being with us.